guys, I'm Shania, and I'm just going to do a small tutorial on how to do a special effects gash. What you're going to need is liquid latex, toilet paper, all torn up into little itty bits like that, or like that. You can use a 2-ply. If you use a 2-ply, I suggest tearing each ply apart and then ripping it up, or you can use a single ply, which makes it a lot easier. And I just dropped my brush. There we go. Paints. We'll be using the dark red, the purple, and black, and the lighter red. A stipple sponge, and gel blend. Brand new gel blend. I like to give my latex a little shake. Make sure it's going to come out. Now, depending on the size you do, you're not going to need a lot because a little of latex actually goes a very long way. So I'm just going to be using an artist brush to apply it. You can use any brush, really, whatever you have lying around. And I'm just going to apply it right on my collarbone right there. You can apply latex anywhere except for on hair because it really hurts whenever you get it on your hair. Like a lot. Especially if you're like a guy and you get it on peach fuzz or something. That hurts a lot. I explained that to my friend and I don't think they've forgiven me yet. They have. And you'll notice that it'll start getting sticky and drying fast, and then that's whenever you need to start applying the tissue paper or toilet paper, whatever you use. Just like this, piece by piece, like that. And I'll take some pictures after and post them with the video so you can actually see how it turns out a little better. And this works really well for making zombies that have giant wounds. Or if you want to create if you have like a meaty glob on your face of something, you can get a full square piece of tissue paper and kind of like close it in with latex. Maybe I'll do another tutorial on that because that's actually a lot of fun to do. Especially if you can like get it over your eye. It kind of looks like a weird video game alienish thingy. And I like to ramble, so if you need to mute me, I suggest doing that. Okay. Once you get that on there, you're going to kind of push it down to make sure it's going to stick. And then you get your latex again. And your brush may kind of clump up like that with latex. So it kind of helps to clean it or rip all the stuff off of it. Just makes it a little easier whenever you finally have to go back in and touch it up like this. I like to do 2 or 3 layers of latex with 2 or 3 layers of the paper, depending on what I'm doing and how big it is. With this, I'll probably just use 2 layers of paper, which would make 3 layers of latex. And just kind of dab it all around there. It's okay if it kind of comes off like that, because you'll be covering it up with paint anyways, and you won't really be able to tell. easier to get a lot on the brush and then dab it on, because then you aren't moving the paper all around and it's not getting all messed up. Comes out cleaner. Unless that happens. So it won't move the paper around, but it will occasionally rip it off, which can always be fixed. Like that. Okay. So now that we got that layer on, I'm going to go ahead and put on another layer of tissue paper, or toilet paper, whatever you want to call it. How do people call it tissue paper? People call it toilet paper. I think Halloween may be my favorite time of year, just because of the fact that here where I live, there's events that go on constantly. You can dress up and go to them. There's anything you like, pretty much. There's always, like, every Friday there's an art walk. People go as clowns. There's a Jack Skellington there once. And a bunch of steampunk cosplayers. These also work really well for cosplay. If you have a character that has a giant gash. Or, you know, just a really good prank to scare the crap out of your friends or your family. It's always funny. Especially if they actually think you hurt yourself. So if you're a good actor and you can pull it off, just, you know, don't let it get so far as to where they call the ambulance and, you know, ambulance comes and they sit there and get mad because it's all makeup and then they wipe it off. And then you're just kind of like, oops, yeah, I'm not really hurt. Sorry for my rambling. Good. Sometimes you gotta keep it pushed down and then go over it again like that. Okay. And if you've never used latex before, just to make sure you're not allergic to it, you should apply some just to a small area, like on your arm. Because if you are allergic to it, then and you just go in and apply a bunch like this, then it probably really, really hurts. I wouldn't know I'm not allergic to it. But anyone who is allergic to it and found out the hard way that they're allergic to it will probably tell you that it hurts. Just want to kind of make sure you got it all. I'm sitting a bit away from the mirror so I can't really tell. And my camera doesn't give me a good idea of what all I got. So I'm going to take a wild guess that I got it all. I'm going to go ahead and put that latex away. What else? Another thing you're going to want is these tweezers. There we go. I forgot the name of it. Stay hydrated when you're doing this, you know, a little cocoa yourself. Maybe some gummy bears or jelly beans also. But anyways, you're going to want to let this dry first a little bit. I guess it's close enough. It's close enough. I'm gonna let it dry just a little bit longer. And then you can use pretty much any blood on this, but I suggest gel blood if you can. Mainly because it tends to stay a lot better than like a vampire blood that you can find in gallons. It comes just in a little tube like that. It's not very big. It's an ounce. They make them bigger than that, but it's still my favorite to use. It comes out a little thicker. So it's a lot thicker than other bloods that you can find at a Halloween store or costume shop. Or you could always use edible blood. There's a few good recipes online for edible blood, especially if you like chocolate or strawberries. I like to make a chocolate one that's just basically corn syrup and Hershey's chocolate powder dyed red, and it tastes really good. You can put it on cupcakes and have a Halloween party, or a makeup party, and make your friends into zombies. Suggestion. You could use this video to show. Okay, anyways, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go in and kind of tear away at the latex, get to the skin. That. Careful not to stab yourself with them because that does hurt. And then you bleed real blood, and then you have a real cut, and you don't really need the makeup then. But then you may have to go to the hospital, and you probably don't want that to happen. So I would suggest using this. And you can make them big like that. Even if it's an accident, you can still pull it off. Just with some paints and some blood. Okay, so now we got our gash there. And also, if you have like a skeleton and you're doing maybe a big arm piece, you can make it look like the bone is kind of popping out of your arm. Break the skeleton arm, put it inside of the latex. But we're going to do like that. Latex stuck to it. Okay. You can see it on the inside there. We're going to fill that in with paint. Okay. So I'm going to take, these are just simple wax paints. This is the Graptovane Severe Trauma wheel. It's got a blood red, purple, yellow, green, blue, and a fleshy tone. And that's the one we're going to use first. We're just going to take a small brush. That's what I like to use. You can use fingers, you can use a bigger brush, you can use a sponge. And I'm just going to go in and kind of go like that. Tear off that tissue paper that came off. And I'm going to go ahead and switch to my finger to do this part. Just because you can do that. And don't worry about getting it around the edges of the latex, like right there, where there is no latex, because you're going to be going over that with some purple and the stipple brush, or stipple sponge, brush, sponge thingy, SpongeBob SquarePants. Go ahead and put some red right in there. You can see right there. And then you're going to want to go in with your brush probably and fill in some smaller spots like that you can't get with your finger. Okay, then you take your black. This is another Graftabane, and this is the Monster Makeup Wheel. It has the black, a regular red, two very monsterish greens, a gray, and a darker blue. And I'm going to take the black and go on the inside right here. It kind of gives it a depth to your wound. I'm going to use my finger again for this part, just because I can make it a little thicker with my finger. Okay, so you can see it like that. You kind of want to make it a little thick and dark. Okay, and then you take your brush with the black and you kind of go around on those spots in your wound to make it look like, hey, that's ripped too. There are holes right there in that skin also. It just adds a little bit of depth to your wound. I wish I could see a little better. Okay. And then kind of clean your brush off a bit. You can rub it on your arm, or you could actually clean it, but I'm going to rub it on my arm because I really don't care. But some people may care. So those people need to do what they feel comfortable doing. I'm going to revert back to my fingers. I'm just going to blend this in with the other red. That spot there. And I'm going to go ahead and go with this red. You don't really want to leave any white, and if you do, you don't want to leave a lot, because it kind of takes away from it looking all wounded. But what you do leave, you can probably cover up with some blood. We'll get to that next. Now I'm going to take the stipple sponge, which is this little sponge right here. It's very wiry and hard, and this one's very dirty, just from so much being used. It's a very loved stipple sponge. I'm going to use the purple, and I'm going to take a quarter and just get some on that, and then go around the wound. It'll come off. There we go, just like that. You can tell what's going around it. And like I said, I will take some pictures and put them at the end of the video, because I'm not real sure how well this is all going to show up on this video camera, because I've never used this camera before, and I didn't think of doing a test run on it, so I'm pretty smart. Just going to go completely around that. And then I'm going to take the same stipple sponge and go to black. Some black on there, clean a little bit. And then go around the wound with the black. This works really well for making it look like irritated. You know, it's clawed by a zombie or bit by a zombie and you're getting infected. Go all the way around on that wound. Wow, God, why do I play this song? There's a good song. Not too bad. Okay, so you can tell black going around it now. And I like to use a little bit of red also, the same on the monster mill. Just put a little bit of red right there. And just keep going around with it like that. As you can tell, it's gotten quite a bit of the white on there. There we go. Kind of making a dead look to it. Now we're going to go ahead and go to our gel blood. Right there. Gel blood. It's all jelly. So look at that. Gel blood. It's a gel. No. It's gel. And I'm going to go ahead and go in on the wound with it. And I like to go with a lot and then kind of dump it all in there. Make it look nice and bloody on the inside. And it will try to group up and just be there in splotches, and you can just add more to it. And that fixes it. I like to go in and completely rub the brush around in there with the blood. But whenever it dries or gets to a drier state, then it'll look great. There we go. Okay. Get that all around there. And put it up at top. Let it all drip on down. Or another really fun option is taking the cap with a little blood in it. Just kind of doing that. There we go. Let it kind of make its way down. Or there's some more in there. And continue to let it make its way down. Kind of stop it before it gets too sharp. Spread it around a little more. This time with my finger. Your hands will get very dirty. And other parts of your body too. Like your arms. And your hands. I already said hands. Okay. Pour a little more in there. And I'm going to take the brush. I'm going to go ahead and go on the actual wound itself. Outside of the wound. And as it starts drying, it's probably a good idea to try to spread it around the wound a little bit. So fix it right there. And put that around there. Put it all around the wound, the inside of the wound, to make the edges look nice and bloody and hurt. Hurt yourself, or you're dead, one of the two. You gotta let it kind of, you gotta look bad. You gotta look like crap. And that's whenever I just like to take either whatever is left in my cap or pour a little more in there. Just kind of pour it right there straight into the wound. And move your body to get it to go right. You know, if it gets overfilled with blood and starts leaking out, that's perfectly cool too. You know, you want it to look bloody. You want it to look good. Just like that. See how it's moving down right there? I like to stop it a little bit before it gets too far. Just because I don't want this shirt to get messy. And then you can go ahead and just kind of take your fingers that are drenched in the blood of your wound and kind of just do that. Give it a nice irritated red bloody look. There we go, it's moving down to my shirt again. Do that. Look like you try to grab it like that. There we go, do that. There's some more blood around in there. And you have a nice, giant, open, bloody, horrific, scary looking wound for your costume.